5 fruity and playful perfumes for women on a budget. So all of these perfumes have a fruity component in them, whether it be peach or coconut or citrus or whatever the case may be. And I made sure to spotlight 5 different fruity profiles. And all of these have something really special happening in them. Some of them are more of a combination of different fruits. Some of them are very linear and they have just one fruit, perhaps with some other gourmand nuances. But all of these are very fruity and playful, and they're all on a budget. Like, I don't think you're going to spend more than like $40 on any of these fragrances. Maybe 50 is the most you might spend on one of them, which is a bit of a higher end brand, but we'll talk about that perfume when we get to it. But all 5 of these are truly wonderful. Before I start the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me. And of course, with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive into the list. All of these are beautiful fragrances. They're fruity, they're juicy. Some of them are more summer appropriate. Some of them I can actually see people enjoying into the autumn. It's all a matter of when and where you like to wear them, what your line of work is, how you like your perfumes. Are you a fan of the darker olfactive offerings? Do you like some of the brighter, fresher fragrances on the market? And of course, when we're talking about fruits, we have the tropical fruity vibes. We also have the bright, fresh, and refreshing fruity notes like pear and citrus. And well, anyway, I'm going to let you know what I think of all 5 of these. The first one that I want to talk about is Pachali Caramel, and of course the fruity ingredient in this one is coconut. So this has a very sweet yet long-lasting fruity personality. This is an extrait de parfum, and this one from the brand Okcha is called Nectar Whirl. This brand has a lot of really good fruity perfumes. There's also another one that I acquired recently. It's called Mango Mousse. I was forgetting the name for a second. It's called Mango Mousse, and that one I also really, really love. That one is a very juicy, sweet mango fragrance. I believe it's a newer offering from the brand. And then here we have one that's been around a little bit longer, and it's called Nectar Whirl. For those of you who don't know about the brand Okcha, you can go on their website. They have a lot of really wonderful fragrances. And with this particular fragrance, it has that coconut, but it's not tropical leaning, which I think is what the expectation is for coconut. Sometimes it can be like coconut and florals, like Soleil Blanc by Tom Ford. It smells like, you know, sunblock or whatever, sunscreen. We also have Virgin Island Water by Creed, which smells like a piña colada. That one is very tropical leaning. This is more of a sweet gourmand and earthy take on the note of coconut on account of the caramel. And the patchouli that's in here, Nectar Whirl, is an incredible fragrance from the brand. And the brand makes original creations. They have their version of more popular niche and designer fragrances. They also go ahead and clone a lot of discontinued scents as well. Like I think recently they cloned the original Miss Dior by Christian Dior. They also cloned Pink Friday by Nicki Minaj. I know they have one called Lullaby, which I forget. I think that one is one of those 2. But anyway, they have some really wonderful fragrances. We also have this fresh take on fruits. This one is Ranin by Asdaf. Ranin by Asdaf. So this is an exceptionally well done pear, orange blossom, jasmine, and bergamot scent. This is actually the brand's take on Prada Paradox. So if you're familiar with that fragrance, as I'm sure all of us are by now, it's a beautiful fragrance, but at the end of the day, this one just takes that bright, sparkling nature of the, you know, the pear and the bergamot, and it just does something so exceptional with it. I am a huge fan of Asdaf's Ranin, and again, the presentation alone is reason enough to purchase this bottle. And every time I look it up, it's always, oh my God, it's so sexy. It's always in the vein of like $30. And for $30, you can't go wrong. We also have one that is a bit on the creamy, rich, maybe slightly tropical side of things. When you look up the note breakdown for this one, there are so many different fruity ingredients in here, but for me, this is very peach forward. It's peach, it's creamy, but it's not overly sweet. And this one by Niche Emirati Perfumes is called Dura, D-U-R-R-A-H. Yeah. And I mean, this bottle is gorgeous. And the peach vibe that's in here is so juicy, it's so rich, and it does kind of remind me of the Tom Ford counterpart, Bitter Peach. However, this one is a lot smoother. It doesn't have as much of that patchouli that you find in Bitter Peach, and it is giving me just a gorgeous, juicy, overripe, bursting at the seams vibe. And I love Dura by Nisha Marathi Perfumes. And again, this is under the Latafa umbrella, so you're going to get exceptional quality from this perfume too. Now, speaking of peach, here's one that goes in a bit of a sugary direction. So I'm going to say it's sweeter. And this one is also inexpensive, especially when compared to Eau de Parfums and Extrait de Parfum fragrances on the market. This one by Flur is called Peach Skin. It might as well have been called Peach Rings because that's what it smells like. It smells like the peach ring candy that you used to have when you were younger, or that you still have. I don't know. It depends on what you like to eat. So this has peach Bellini, bergamot, peach skin, white freesia, vanilla orchid, jasmine nectar, milky sandalwood, sheer amber, and coconut caramel. You do get the coconut, you do get the peach. The peach is really the main player in this fragrance. It does remind me of the peach rings. And some time ago, I was toying around with a layering combination of two body mists from the brand, this one and another one called Heavy Cream, which smells like milk and vanilla. And when you combine the two, you create peaches and cream. It's actually a really cool layering blend. If you're into layering, please try that out because I think it's super cool. But Peach Skin by Fleur is an inexpensive, fruity fragrance for women. And I think it's gorgeous. It's unisex, but I think women would be able to pull it off flawlessly. Now let's go ahead and talk about the last perfume in this list. So this is actually, excuse me, an affordable perfume that smells very expensive. And this fragrance has a note of raspberry in it. So we have peach, we have pear, we have bergamot, we have citrus in all of them, we have coconut. So none of these are really super tropical, maybe with the exception of Dura, but again, it all depends on what your perception of peach is like. This one is fruity, but it's also elegant. It's feminine, it's elegant, it's sensual, it has a compliment-getting DNA. The original has also gotten a lot of compliments. I own the original, I personally love it, and I know the brand has since then branched out and released other fragrances that they have been spotlighting, going after other popular designer DNAs. And this is one where the original has kind of fallen under the radar, but I think it's a classic and I think it's exceptionally well done. Well, this perfume has raspberry, neroli, and lemon in the opening, jasmine, orange blossom, and gardenia in the heart, patchouli, amber, and honey in the base. But of course, the namesake of the perfume, because it's called Woody Raspberry by Dossier. This is actually the brand's take on, and by the way, magnetic cap. Really enjoy these presentations. Wide distribution on the atomizer. It smells so sexy. This is such a playful, outgoing, charismatic perfume for women. This is the brand's take on Lady Million by Paco Rabanne. So if you're familiar with that perfume, you know the success that that fragrance has had and continues to gain. There's so many fans of Lady Million on the market, and I've always been a fan of it. Ever since it came out, I purchased my bottle almost immediately. I definitely bought it within a month or two of it being released, and I am a big fan of Lady Million by Paco Rabanne. And then Woody Raspberry is the brand's take on that DNA. It's just a very easy to wear, outgoing, compliment-getting, and incredibly affordable fragrance. I mean, you look on Dossier's website and it will never cease to amaze me how inexpensive their fragrances are. Like some of them are like 20-something bucks, 30-something bucks. And the fragrances, they last a very long time on my skin. When you get them and you open the box, there's a card that comes on the inside and they're always quite transparent about what it's inspired by, what the exact concentration of oils is. They'll tell you if it's 18% or 20%, so I really appreciate that. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. That was my take on 5 fruity perfumes for women that smell feminine and also on a budget. All of these are highly inexpensive. And if you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would truly mean a lot to me. So thank you again so much for joining me today. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.